What is the girl equivalent of dudes finding a nice stick or digging a gigantic hole for no reason? When I find a nice stick, I love peeling the bark off, so it's perfectly smooth. So satisfying. Finding smooth and pretty rocks. Also finding sea glass at the beach. Pretty rock, seashell, fancy feather. For me it's a box, especially if it's small and pretty. Sturdy, well-made, looks to be a useful size with a lid that fastens nicely, or larger and useful for storing things or moving. I don't know about other women, but I'm thrilled when I encounter mushrooms in the wild, especially the red ones with the white flakes on them, or mushroom rings. I also like finding quartz stones in the wild. Honestly, I get thrilled when I find really fat, verdant clumps of moss. Moss is so satisfying. In my experience, still just finding a nice stick and digging a big hole. I found a dress with pockets, flower picking, sea glass, and shells. I found a whole deer skeleton covered in moss, so my friend and I cleaned it off in the river and took it home. We were hiking in that area to find live specimens of an invasive beetle species that are fairly new to the area because we're bug girls. Also did some SUP. Girls also dig holes, but also daisy chains, leaf crowns, etc. Finding a nice stick and digging holes. Except, some parents think it's a good idea to dress little girls up in tights and pretty dresses and scold them when they get back and the dress is dirty and torn. Those girls typically stop finding nice sticks and digging holes. Then they go to finding pretty rocks and flowers, until they get dandelion juice on their pretty dresses and their parents get mad again. Rearranging furniture maybe? You guys think you own sticks and holes? The same. It's not a gender-specific thing. My first GF loves nothing better than to dig the biggest hole on the beach. She'd be there for hours and if she's seen a herd of sheep, that would be entertaining for her for absolute hours. Mud pies. Butterflies. I'm literally like ooh pretty must follow. A very nice rock. Like smooth and satisfying. The perfect clothing blanket texture. Not that microfiber nonsense, something that just feels right. Colors. Gradients. Pleasing shifts of color like a sunrise or twilight. I could go on, but these are the ones that come to mind immediately. I have known several women or girls that liked finding sticks, or digging holes, or collecting rock, or collecting seashells. I have one niece that is a rock and mineral collector and she has a preference for finding them herself rather than buying them. I have another niece that loves digging holes. Granted, she is an avid gardener, so it is part of the process. When I was a little girl, I dug a huge hole by hand to make a goose pond and loved every minute of it. Also chopped down a dead tree with an axe, not sure why exactly, maybe G. Washington and the cherry tree or something. A couple of years ago I found an exquisite, twisty stick and stretched a copperhead skin over it and it is really nice. Looks horrifying. If you skin a snake and immediately place it on a stick, the skin will stick and dry. I can't be the only one to enjoy the great outdoors. Shopping and finding a nice decorative object for the home. Crafting.